Before we jump into funding your graduate studies, I'm just going to do a brief overview on standardized test preparation. So if you are considering graduate school, at least in Canada, often you would need to do some sort of standardized test. So whether that means going to business school and doing your GMAT, or law school, your LSAT, or medical school, you'll have an MCAT exam. In most cases, there is also the GRE. So for many academic degrees, a GRE is required, and in some cases, it may be subject-specific. Off the top of my head, like psychology, biology, chemistry, are just some of the subjects that, or programs rather, that may require you to take not only the GRE, but a subject-specific GRE test. Although, just also keep in mind that some schools may not require a GRE. I know that when I was looking at graduate school options for psychology, when I was taking my first degree, there were some schools that didn't require a GRE test prior to being admitted into their master's program. But it does vary by school, and also it does vary by program, because there are some programs that don't even require a GRE test. But if you do have any questions about any program at all, feel free to either contact the school through gradschoolfinder.com when you request information, or just simply looking at the contact information for the school and getting an email or a phone call to the admissions office to find out more. And also keep in mind that although you may perform very well on a standardized test, because some people are really great at that, with all the preparation and studying that is involved, it's not the only factor that the admissions team is looking for, and I'm sure Tammy can speak to that as well. So when you're looking at standardized testing, there are some resources available to you in order to prepare. Tammy did mention earlier the Kaplan and Princeton Review, but also PowerPrep is one of them, and that's offered through the same organization that does the GRE testing. So you will receive the PowerPoint presentation, a copy of this, sometime tomorrow, so you can click on the links and find out more information if you're interested. Okay, so now on to the meaty stuff that everyone is interested to learn more about. So basically, when it comes to funding your graduate program, you'll need to look at how much your graduate studies will cost. So based on whether you are going into school at the master's or PhD level, and also for which program and where you plan on going to school, the cost would vary there. So right now I have an estimate of $8,000 as a tuition cost for a graduate program. As I mentioned a little earlier, it does vary depending on where you go to school and what program you are enrolling in, and definitely for some professional schools, definitely for a law program or a medical school program, it does cost well over that amount, but there are other fees to take into account as well. And especially if you are an international student and you are planning on studying in Canada, your accommodation fee may also go up as well, and the tuition cost does tend to double or sometimes even triple in terms of the number. So in total, we do estimate roughly about $20,000 should be set aside for graduate studies if you are considering it. Okay, so one resource for you to use when looking for funding is through scholarshipscanada.com. You may have used schoolfinder.com, which also gives you access to scholarshipscanada.com, which is another one of our websites. So you can use this resource in order to find scholarships for you. On our website, we do have a filtering system where you can filter for scholarships based on whether you're an entrance undergraduate or graduate student. So all that information is available for you, but sometimes, for whatever reason, when you're looking at scholarships, you may not find what you're looking for. So we will get into alternate funding just a little bit later. So basically on Scholarships Canada, there's over $24,000 worth of scholarships worth over $93 million listed on our website. We do have some featured scholarships, the graduate fellowship for Canadian students at the University of Lethbridge. If you do have any questions about that, Tammy is here to answer your questions on that, and that's offered through the Faculty of Management. For any students registered in the Orientation and Integrative Management Studies module in the MSc program. And also, our sponsor has a featured scholarship as well. So the University of New South Wales Faculty of Law is offering a scholarship valued at $10,000 for any high-achieving Canadian or U.S. Citizen who's undertaking a degree in the JD program. So those are some of the options that are available to you. But otherwise, alternate funding, you may notice that a lot of funding is more focused on science-related degrees at the master's or doctorate level, but there is funding available for arts degrees as well. So these are some of the resources that are available to you. So in terms of science degrees, there's the NSERC, Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada. Is really popular, and you'll probably hear about it a lot if you're taking a science-oriented program. Even at the undergraduate level, your professors may mention that you need to apply for NSERC, so that's one of them. There's also the Joseph Armand Bombardier Canada Graduate Scholarship, and this is available for anyone at the master's or doctorate level looking at social sciences and humanities. And also there's the Canadian Institute of Health Research. That's something to look at, as well as the Vanier Canada Graduate Scholarship. This one's a little different because it's looking more at students who demonstrate leadership skills and high standard of scholarly achievement, so not just your grades, but also leadership skills as well. This is more focused on social sciences and humanities, but there's also your natural sciences and engineering and health. And for international students, this is something you may want to check out as well, because it's also available for international students. And in many cases, there are organizations, so non-educational organizations that are out there that may offer fellowships or research grants for you to continue your studies. Right now we have an example for the Heart and Stroke Foundation, which has a research program available, but there are many other organizations that have funding available, and you may wish to look at their websites or have a look at Scholarships Canada, and we can point you in the right direction. Okay, so just to quickly wrap up, you may have found out about this particular webinar event through our events page, or perhaps you received an email from us. But for any updates on some of the upcoming presentations that we have, if you enjoyed this webinar, please share our events page with people you know. We do have two very exciting presentations coming up in March, one of which is Discovering Your Career Path, and later on in the latter part of March, we are hosting a presentation on resume writing and other things to help you on your way to your career, so networking as well. So you may be interested in registering for those, so simply go to our events page and have a look to see what's available. And we're always welcome to many feedback and questions that you may have. If you have any students, or if you're a parent and you would like some of our postcards, feel free to send us an email to let us know, and with your mailing address and how many postcards you would like. And if at any time you have any questions after this presentation, feel free to send either our general email or send me an email, and we will direct you in the right direction. So right now we're going to wrap things up. And
perfect. Yeah. So we do have some questions, and for those of you who are happy to stay with us, we will tackle those shortly. But just to end, we wanted to say thank you to everyone for joining us this evening.